big city in the country. We recycle about, at the time we were recycling about 58%. I believe we're now at 65%. We're going to be at 70% by the time I leave office. There's some smaller cities that do a little more, but no big city. When I'm talking about big city, I'm not talking about boutique cities. I'm talking about cities over 1 million. It's a lot harder to kind of move that through. So of big cities, we're recycling more. We expanded that to multifamily units. So that's another area where people can participate. But you give me an idea. I want to look at, guys, folks back there, everybody, I want to look at initiatives focused on not just homeowners, but renters. Now, we already did the 2 CFLs, which I reminded him of, and that impacted everybody, including renters. Let's identify some areas. Oh, I know another area, refrigerators. We have the largest program in our history for low-income people. They have an old energy guzzling, thank you, refrigerator, and we give them a new energy-saving refrigerator. So that's another program. But we should identify them and maybe package them a little better and maybe expand on them and look at that. And then with respect to the point that you made, I know that Loyola Marymount is also has a solar initiative at their school as well, which is why we've done events there. So I'll do it, once you're finished with yours, I'll do green events here. But we ought to put together an initiative on the part of all of LA's universities to join Occidental Loyola Marymount. That's a good way for you to organize through the student associations. Hey, with our dues, we want you to do a solar project. So we'll work on that with you too.
Hi, Mayor. Thank you for coming. I'm Jordan Cortland.
You didn't say my last name?
Mayor Villaraigosa.
Very good.
All right. As consumers and institutions, our energy use is often concentrated in only a few hours a day, creating a peak demand and forcing utilities to fire up extra fossil fuel plants and invest additional money in infrastructure. I know the LADWP has already implemented an additional peak power charge to incentivize spread out power use.
Come on.
If users are more aware of how much power they are using in real time using smart meters, they could avoid using power during peak times and eliminate the need for additional infrastructure. If there's one thing I'd like you to take to Copenhagen, it's that informed consumers could reduce their power usage during peak hours and save money for themselves and the utilities.
Yes, I just wanted to make sure. I was going to say, I didn't want to misspeak. I have a KNX microphone there, and they'll do a Lexus check. And we just won a $60 million grant to develop smart grid technologies, and that is one of the technologies that we have to begin to do. You know, when you go to a bank and you take money out and see how much money you have left, you think about how much money you're going to take out. We use energy and we never think about it. But if you have a smart meter that tells you that you're using X amount of energy and this is how much you're spending, you start to think about saving energy. Today I left Western Bagel, one of the largest bagel manufacturers in LA, one of the oldest as well, and they're participating in a small business program, retrofitted their lights, using energy off-peak, and we incentivize them to use energy off-peak, and we give them a cheaper rate. So smart grid, you know, going off-peak, those kinds of things are things that we got to do, and I will mention that somewhere in the few days that I'm there at Copenhagen.
Thank you.
Hi, my name's Kelsey Newport. In many recent discussions about mitigating climate change, carbon credits and offsets have been at the forefront of many proposals. Though there is certainly controversy around the models being discussed, we have an example right here in Northeast Los Angeles, where I'm working with the Audubon Center at Ernest C. Debs Regional Park to help them become part of that market in a way that incorporates the grassroots model of local community involvement. As you know, the Audubon Center has a 5,000 square foot educational center that is completely disconnected from the city's power grid, instead generating all of their electricity through solar panels on the roof, the energy of which could become part of the carbon offset market, thus increasing the resources of the park. I think that the model of local community involvement that Debs Park is focusing on is an especially innovative approach because it allows members of low-income communities of color into the discussion of climate change, a discussion they're all too often left out of, despite the disproportional impacts they often face. In your trip to Copenhagen, I would like you to take with you the importance of incorporating all communities into the crucial changes we are making concerning climate change.
Absolutely. And I do know a little something about the Audubon Center. I did $1 million for it when I was Speaker of the Assembly, and it's one of the highest rated LEED certified projects. By the way, LA, I mean, there were so many statistics, I didn't want to put you to sleep. We have more LEED not only the toughest green building standards of any big city in the nation. I guess I define that by bigger than 1 million. We also have more LEED certified buildings than any city, 400 in the nation. But yes, we will take that issue of being inclusive, of ensuring that we have grassroots participation, but also empowerment in these issues of sustainability and environmental justice as well.
Hi, I'm Nicole Ng. And as you know, and as you've been emphasizing, the resource depletion and environmental and health effects associated with the use of fossil fuels are really big issues that our generation must deal with now and in the near future. Because of this, I've been working on implementing the use of biodiesel at in our school's diesel-run campus vehicles. Biodiesel is a diesel-comparable alternative fuel source produced from waste or vegetable oils that has significantly fewer emissions than regular diesel. And I'm particularly interested in biodiesel because of its environmental benefits, the fact that it can be produced locally from waste products, and the fact that it can actually prolong engine life. And I was hoping that you could use your influence in Los Angeles and Copenhagen to encourage people to scale up the use of biodiesel and other alternative fuels. And I think it'd be really wonderful if LA could lead the way in moving our nation away from its fossil fuel dependence.
The answer is yes. I do want to encourage the use of alternative fuels. About 91% of our what's the called fleet? The fleet, not the general fleet. About 91% of our general fleet is clean fuel vehicles. That number goes down when you include trucks and all the other big vehicles that we have. But as an example, 50% of our trash trucks are clean fuel vehicles, more than any city in the country. We'll be at 100% by 2011. It's supposed to be 2010, but they're slowing it down a little bit. Biodiesel, we're working on, but we got to get some regs from the AQMD in order to do it on a bigger scale, because, as an example, compressed natural gas would be a preferable alternative. Biodiesel is better than diesel, but, you know, and electric is even better. And finally, I announced, 2 days ago, LA is going to be the first city in the United States, the LA region, to put together, to be ready for the electric vehicle at the beginning of 2011. So in just a little more than a year. We're going to retrofit the 400 charging stations we have today, install another 100, incentivize the use of electric vehicles, subsidize it by $2,000, the cost of installing those vehicles, those charging stations in homes as well.
Thank you.